Have you ever felt like you're giving your all in a relationship, only to realize you're just a background character in someone else's story? It's a painful truth that many of us face, yet we often brush it off, convincing ourselves that it's just the way things are. But here's the truth: it shouldn't be this way. You are not a convenience for someone else, a stepping stone to their goals, or a temporary fix for their needs. Today, we're going to dive deep into the subtle, often overlooked signs that you're being used in a relationship. This isn't just about the big betrayals, but rather those small moments and patterns that quietly chip away at your self-worth. By the end of this video, you'll not only be able to spot these red flags, but you'll also have the tools to steer your life back to a place where your value is recognized and cherished, because you deserve relationships that are genuine, mutual, and respectful. So, let's uncover these hidden truths together and take the first step toward transforming the way we see ourselves and our relationships. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be the turning point in how you navigate your connections with others. Before we dive in, I encourage you to hit the like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more eye-opening content. And remember, watching the entire video without skipping is key to fully understanding the message and making meaningful changes in your relationships. 7 attitudes of someone who only uses you and doesn't care about. First sign: one-sided effort. One-sided effort in relationships is something most of us have experienced at some point, where you're always the giver, the supporter, the one constantly reaching out. This imbalance, where one person continually puts in more effort than the other, can leave you feeling unappreciated and emotionally drained. It's like rowing a boat alone while the other person just enjoys the ride. This situation brings to mind a powerful quote from the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Sometimes we ignore this imbalance out of fear of losing the relationship, even when it's causing us more harm than good. The one-sided effort is a clear indicator of an unbalanced relationship. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "Never value anything as profitable to your character that forces you to break your promise, lose yourself, respect, hate, suspect, curse, act hypocritically, or desire things that require walls and curtains." This is especially relevant when we consider the dynamics of a one-sided relationship. If you find yourself compromising your values, dignity, and peace of mind to maintain a relationship, it's time to question its true value in your life. In such relationships, you're the one making all the plans, initiating communication, and often making excuses for the other person's lack of effort. This continuous give and take imbalance can slowly build up feelings of resentment and loneliness, even when you're technically not alone. As the Greek philosopher Epictetus wisely put it, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In a one-sided relationship, you might find yourself doing all the talking, while the other person provides little to no active listening or engagement. In Western psychology, this imbalance is recognized as a significant source of emotional distress. It's crucial to remember that a healthy relationship is built on mutual effort and reciprocity. When this balance is missing, the relationship may start to feel more like a burden than a source of joy and support. Recognizing your worth is essential. Don't settle for a relationship that leaves you feeling undervalued or unappreciated. As you navigate these waters, remember that your well-being and self-respect should always be your priority. Acknowledging and addressing one-sided effort is a key step toward cultivating healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Second sign, selective availability. Selective availability in relationships is a glaring sign that the dynamics are deeply skewed in favor of one person. We've all experienced it, a friend or loved one who is always ready to take support but rarely available to offer it in return. This behavior echoes the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who observed, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." But in the case of selective availability, it seems this opportunity is a one-way street. Selective availability reflects a relationship where convenience outweighs genuine care and reciprocity. When someone is only present in your life when it suits them or when they stand to benefit, it points to a lack of real commitment and concern. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic figurehead, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective is especially useful here. How you respond to selective availability is key. It's about recognizing your value and not letting yourself be treated as an option rather than a priority. Selective availability isn't just about physical presence, it's also about emotional availability. If you're always the one offering a listening ear or a shoulder to cry on, but find the same support missing when you need it, it's a clear indicator of imbalance. This lack of reciprocity can lead to feelings of frustration and isolation. It's a perfect example of Epictetus' words, that we have two ears and one mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. In a balanced relationship, both parties should follow this principle. But in relationships where selective availability is present, you often find yourself constantly on the listening end. From a Western psychological perspective, reciprocal social support is essential for healthy relationships. The concept of reciprocity is woven deeply into human social interactions and is fundamental to building trust and emotional safety. Without it, emotional strain and a decline in self-esteem can follow. Recognizing when you're stuck in such a dynamic is vital, and taking action is necessary. This might involve open communication about your needs, setting boundaries, or even reevaluating the relationship altogether. In these challenging situations, remember Marcus Aurelius' words, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." Instead of responding with bitterness or becoming similarly unavailable, strive to uphold your values. Seek out relationships that are more balanced and fulfilling. Third sign, absence of genuine interest. The absence of genuine interest in a relationship is one of the most profound issues that can arise. At the core of any meaningful relationship, whether friendship or romantic, there must be a two-way exchange, a mutual interest in each other's emotions and experiences. In contrast, a relationship where one person shows little to no interest in the other's life is often a clear sign of something transactional rather than authentic. This lack of genuine interest could be something Aristotle would consider a failure in achieving the friendship of the good, where mutual appreciation and shared virtue are central. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, would likely highlight the importance of mutual benefit in all relationships, emphasizing that they should never be solely about what one can gain from the other, but rather about mutual respect and benefit. When someone shows no interest in your well-being, your dreams, or your struggles, it signals a lack of empathy and a disregard for the essence of what makes a relationship meaningful. Plato, with his deep understanding of human nature, might see this as a failure to recognize the shared humanity that binds people together in authentic connection. The ideal, perfect form of friendship, in the view of ancient philosophers, is built on a deeper understanding and genuine connection between individuals. Real relationships should reflect this kind of bond. Relationship where both people are emotionally engaged and invested in each other's lives. When that depth is missing, the relationship becomes a mere shadow of what it could truly be. The absence of genuine interest in another person's life can breed feelings of isolation and insignificance, as it contradicts the basic human need for connection and understanding. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, emphasized the importance of meaningful connections as a fundamental part of individual growth and self-realization. For Jung, these connections weren't just nice to have, they were essential for personal development. In Stoic philosophy, Epictetus urged us to focus on what's within our control and let go of what isn't. In the context of relationships, this means recognizing when genuine interest is absent and understanding that you can't force someone to care. Instead, you should direct your energy toward nurturing relationships that are mutually supportive and enriching. Socrates, renowned for his method of deep questioning, would likely encourage us to constantly question the nature of our relationships. So are they built on mutual respect and genuine interest, or are they one-sided? This ongoing inquiry can guide us toward healthier and more balanced connections. Fourth signal: emotional manipulation unveiled. The fourth signal of a problematic relationship is emotional manipulation. This occurs when one person uses guilt, emotional pressure, or subtle coercion to influence the actions of another. Emotional manipulation can be especially insidious because it preys on the victim's compassion and empathy, often making them second-guess their own feelings and motivations. Stoic philosophy, particularly the teachings of Epictetus, offers a lens through which we can view this harmful behavior. Epictetus taught that while external events are beyond our control, we do have control over how we respond to them. When it comes to emotional manipulation, this means recognizing the manipulation for what it is and choosing not to let it control your actions or distort your sense of self-worth. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, focused on the importance of living in accordance with one's own nature and reason. In the face of emotional manipulation, it's crucial to stay true to yourself, rather than letting someone else exploit your emotions. Aurelius might have advised maintaining your integrity and protecting your inner peace in these situations. Seneca, a contemporary of Aurelius, often spoke about the importance of tranquility of the mind. He would likely view emotional manipulation as a direct threat to this tranquility, a force that disrupts one's inner harmony and clarity. From his perspective, recognizing and resisting emotional manipulation is key to maintaining mental and emotional equilibrium. From the standpoint of Western psychology, emotional manipulation can have a significant negative impact on an individual's mental health. It can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and even depression. Carl Jung, a pioneer of psychology, believed in the process of individuation, the integration of one's full psyche. In the case of emotional manipulation, this means recognizing the manipulation for what it is and reaffirming your own thoughts, feelings, and values. Aristotle's concept of phronesis, or practical wisdom, is also relevant here. Practical wisdom involves not just understanding what constitutes a good or desirable state, but also knowing how to deliver it and achieve it. In cases of emotional manipulation, practical wisdom would involve seeing the manipulation for what it is and determining the best course of action. Whether that's confronting the manipulator or distancing yourself from the situation. Plato, with his deep insights into justice and truth, would likely view emotional manipulation as a corruption of the soul, something that distorts both truth and reality. In his dialogues, he often explored these concepts, and emotional manipulation would be diametrically opposed to the ideals of justice and truth that he championed. Fifth signal: Disregard for boundaries. The fifth signal of a problematic relationship is a blatant disregard for boundaries. This is when one person consistently oversteps or ignores the limits set by the other, whether it's by constantly changing plans, expecting you to always be available, or dismissing your needs and preferences. This behavior is not just disrespectful, it's also destructive to the foundation of any healthy relationship. Marcus Aurelius, in his Stoic teachings, emphasized the importance of respecting both oneself and others. He believed in the dignity of every individual and the necessity of honoring that dignity in all our interactions. Allowing someone to repeatedly disregard your boundaries undermines your self-respect and personal integrity, which, according to Aurelius, is incompatible with living a virtuous life. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, spoke about the delicate balance between self-preservation and the duties we owe to others. He would likely view the violation of boundaries as a clear breach of that balance. In healthy relationships, there should be a mutual respect for each person's time, space, and individuality. When these boundaries are repeatedly disregarded, the relationship becomes one-sided and ultimately harmful. Epictetus, known for his teachings on controlling one's own actions and responses, would advise individuals in such situations to remember that their reactions and their boundaries are within their control. He would encourage people to assert and maintain their boundaries firmly, no matter the pressure from others. In a healthy relationship, both individuals should respect each other's personal space, time, and emotional needs. When these are ignored or violated, it creates an unhealthy dynamic that erodes trust and mutual respect. The key to maintaining your peace and well-being in such relationships is to set clear boundaries and to stand firm in defending them. While we cannot control the actions of others, we always have control over how we respond and uphold our own limits. This is a vital lesson in any relationship. From a psychological perspective, Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the process of integrating various aspects of oneself, requires respecting and asserting one's boundaries. This is a crucial part of personal development. When our boundaries are continuously ignored, it can hinder our growth, leading to frustration, confusion, and even a loss of identity. Aristotle's concept of the golden mean, the balance between extremes, is particularly relevant here. In any relationship, there must be a balance between flexibility and firmness. A complete disregard for boundaries represents an extreme that disrupts this balance, leading to an unhealthy dynamic that stifles both parties. Sixth signal: superficial connection exposed. The sixth signal of a problematic relationship is a superficial connection, a relationship marked by interactions that lack depth and emotional engagement. In these situations, conversations and shared experiences often barely scratch the surface of what true connection entails. Even after spending considerable time together, the individuals involved don't truly know each other on a meaningful level. From a Stoic perspective, Epictetus would emphasize the importance of genuine interactions. He believed that the essence of our relationships should be based on truth and sincerity. When a relationship remains superficial, it fails to align with the Stoic values of authenticity and meaningful connection. Marcus Aurelius, too, often spoke about the depth of human relationships. He would likely view a superficial connection as a missed opportunity, a relationship that doesn't contribute to personal growth or catch mutual understanding. Aurelius would encourage individuals to seek connections that go beyond surface-level interactions, relationships that challenge and enrich both parties involved. Seneca, known for his insights into human nature, might see these shallow connections as indicative of a lack of commitment to the betterment of both oneself and others. For Seneca, relationships should serve as a means to improve ourselves and positively impact the lives of others. A relationship that remains superficial fails to meet this fundamental purpose. In Western philosophy, Aristotle's concept of virtuous friendship stands in stark contrast to superficial connections. According to Aristotle, the highest form of friendship is one that is based on mutual respect and appreciation of each other's virtues, not simply pleasure or utility. Superficial relationships lack this depth and therefore fail to qualify as true friendships. Plato, with his ideas about the world of forms, might view superficial connections as relationships that fail to reach the realm of true understanding. In Plato's view, a relationship that doesn't seek to understand and connect with the essence of the individuals involved is limited and ultimately unfulfilling. Carl Jung, in his theory of individuation, would also see superficial connections as a barrier to self-realization. These shallow relationships do not allow individuals to explore the deeper aspects of their personalities, thus hindering their growth and understanding of themselves. Seventh signal: absence in your tough times. The seventh and perhaps most revealing signal of a problematic relationship is the absence during tough times. Genuine relationships are tested not in times of comfort, but in moments of hardship and adversity. When someone you consider a friend or partner is conspicuously absent during your struggle, it speaks volumes about their commitment to the relationship. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on virtue, resilience, and the nature of human connections, provides valuable insights here. Epictetus, a key Stoic thinker, believed in enduring hardships with both Stoicism and grace. However, he also recognized the importance of support and companionship in overcoming life's challenges. In the context of a friend's absence during tough times, Epictetus would remind us that while we cannot control others' actions, we can control our responses, including reevaluating the relationship based on how it stands in times of adversity. Conclusion. In summary, these signals, whether it's one-sided effort, selective availability, emotional manipulation, disregard for boundaries, superficial connection, or absence during hard times, are red flags that indicate an unhealthy relationship dynamic. Understanding these patterns is the first step in recognizing your worth, asserting your boundaries, and cultivating relationships that are genuine, fulfilling, and mutually respectful. Marcus Aurelius, renowned for his reflections on life and duty, would likely see the absence of a friend during challenging times as a fundamental failure in the duty of friendship. For Aurelius, the essence of any relationship rested on mutual support and understanding. When someone is absent at your most vulnerable moments, it contradicts the very principles of mutual respect and empathy that he valued deeply. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, wrote extensively about the trials of life and the role of friends in helping to ease our burdens. He might view a friend's absence in tough times as a lack of true friendship, something built on the foundation of mutual care and understanding. For Seneca, enduring hardship was inevitable, but facing it alone when you've sought support from others signals a relationship lacking in genuine care and solidarity. From a Western philosophical perspective, Aristotle's idea of friendship revolves on mutual goodwill and shared values. In his view, a friend who is absent during your struggles fails to meet the criteria of a true friend. Aristotle believed that friendships rooted in utility, or pleasure, are fleeting and lack the depth and commitment of virtuous friendships, which are built on mutual respect and understanding. Plato, too, would see such an absence as a failure to embody the ideal form of friendship, a bond based on deep understanding and a connection of souls. For Plato, true friends are those who remain present and supportive, especially during life's most challenging moments. Carl Jung, in his exploration of the human psyche, emphasized the importance of deep, meaningful connections in fostering personal growth and self-actualization. The absence of a friend in tough times can be detrimental to this process, depriving you of the emotional support and understanding needed to navigate personal struggles. Final thoughts. As we come to the end of our journey today, remember this: the value of your relationships is not measured by the ease of time shared, but by the presence and support you feel when life is at its hardest. You deserve connections that are as deep, as genuine and as committed as you are. In the grand tapestry of life, every thread of genuine connection we weave adds a strength and warmth and vibrancy to our existence. Stay true to yourself and keep seeking connections that make life truly meaningful.